on this morning. Really looking forward to your comments. And you know what I love about our viewers? The fact that they won't just give you the answer. They will tell you why they believe this to be the case.
Fantastic.
And today
the backstory
is one of those days that we want the backstory indeed. So here's our question.
Okay, so what we're asking you this morning on the 14th of January 2019, I think it's one of the first times I've said the year, who in South Africa has benefited most economically since the end of apartheid? And this is an important issue, and again, I think it's falling on the back of an interview that we're going to be doing a little bit later on in this hour, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking to Ben Alberts, the convener of the National Council of the New Nation Movement, and Anthony Williams, also Indigenous First Nation Advocacy. And the question we're going to be looking at is why the face of poverty in South Africa is still black, and whether or not Afrikaners have indeed gotten richer since 1994. So those are our guests, that's the topic, but we're broadening it even more to ask you this question. We'd really love you to contribute to the conversation.
Absolutely, and looking forward to that and the interview, of course. All right, let's move on to some of the big stories of the day, and here are some of those that we will be tracking.
Okay, first up, drum roll, dun 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 dun. No, it's not there. Okay, so stories of the day, we'll get to them as soon as we're able to, but we have got some trending topics for you. So a busy Twitter weekend as usual, and the first one is Nomzamo. Sure. Okay.
Nomzamo Mbata.
That's it. All right. So this all happened at the manifesto, the ANC 2019 manifesto, and apparently this is what caused a huge backlash on social media. Arthur having a picture taken with Nomzamo, and then of course there was this backlash on Twitter. How could Nomzamo stand and pose with Arthur, who has got a very, very dubious background when it comes to abuse and his treatment of women? And Nomzamo is a very big activist in her life, and everybody going, again, this is not a good image. Well, I don't know. What are your views on all of this?
I don't know what my views are, definitively, actually. I need to think about it a little more, but I could understand where the backlash was emanating from. On the back of that Arthur CC situation, where CC, I think, has had to have hip replacement surgery because of alleged abuse at the hands of Arthur and all of those sort of stories. So I get where people are coming from but I'd be lying if I said that I had applied my mind to that one. I hadn't.
It's a tough one, but I mean, you had the ANC quickly putting out a statement saying that they condemn the behavior of Arthur.
Well, they say
they invited him, didn't they?
No, they essentially making out that he gate crashed onto the stage. How does that happen?
How did he get backstage?
Where was security?
To begin with?
Can you get around everywhere when you go to these events?
Definitely not. I mean, you've got to be able to. And then also, Nomzamo came out saying, he grabbed me as I was walking. We had a photograph, and then I walked away. She was trying to get. I mean, I've been at these events, and I know what it's like. You're running past, and somebody grabs you, takes a selfie, and you walk away. I mean, I'm not sure what the circumstances were, but I don't know if the backlash against Nomzamo is fair.
But let it just be known, we're not trying to defend this any way, any which way. So it is what it is, and that's why that particular hashtag is trending this morning. All right, the next one, hashtag Phil Masinga, and this was a very sad day yesterday. The nation waking up to the news that Phil Masinga, legend of a football player, had died, and that is the iconic picture. And everybody would remember him for this moment here, where he scores that goal that sends us to France, CIF France, and that particular goal. But you know what was the definitive Phil Masinga moment for me? I think it was 1991, the BP Top 8 final, Cosmos against Chiefs. Dr. Kumalo scores a penalty. Chiefs 1, Cosmos 0, Masinga equalizes. Then it was Shane McGregor, 2-1, and Masinga equalizes. Then it was Fanny Madida, 3-2, and Masinga equalizes. So he scored a cup final hat-trick on that day, and he still ended up on the losing side because Fanny Madida made it 4-3 in extra time. That, for me, that was the definitive Phil Masinga moment. Hat-trick in a cup final. And after that, of course, he went to Sundowns, and most of those Cosmos players went to Pirates. So That was the legend.
Wow.
That was Phil Masinga.
You have done him justice. Well done.
I used to go to the stadium in those days. I used to go to the stadium in those days. So I remember that very vividly. Not so much anymore.
The couch is more comfortable. Wow, thank you. That was really beautiful. All right, ANC 2019 manifesto. I don't think we need to go into that more.
Yeah.
This all happened. It happened yesterday. It's been I think since January 8th. They've been out on the trail, and there's of course been the talk of their manifesto, and many people talking and weighing in and saying, is there anything different, and the job creation, which we read about in the news. So I think you've got the idea of why that's a big trending topic, and we'll talk more about that as we go along. And then, of course, the hashtag Voda Pay Him. And that was all about the Please Call Me case that's been lingering forever.
And then they said they couldn't find his details or something to that effect. Like, really, Voda?
They could have sent him a Please Call Me. Anyway. High five on that one. I mean, come on. I don't know. Anyway.
Like you on the roll this morning. Send him a Please Call Me Vodacom, as you heard there from the
call you back and give you his banking details. All right, 18 minutes past 6 here on the programme. Oh, as we promised, the stories of the day. These are the big ones. These are the ones that are going to be stealing those headlines as usual. Football fraternity mourning the loss of former Bafana Bafana striker and legend Phil Masinga.
And then firefighters still trying to contain fires in the Overstrand region, where more than 30 houses were razed in Betty's Bay over the past few days.
Lessons expected to resume at Laar School Swizerenica in the northwest this morning.
Although some of the big stories. Okay, let's get on to some commuter